In this video, I've got some really cool ways that direct-to-consumer e-commerce entrepreneurs can use QR codes to grow their business and market their business really creatively. Now, if you like this kind of information where I'm helping you market your direct-to-consumer DTC business, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. That way I'll know you want more just like this. Also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Post brand new money making information just like this each and every day. And if you've got any questions for me, comment below. I'm going to answer them personally for you too. With that being said, let me show you this. QR codes. I spoke to a friend of mine late last week who's had amazing success using QR codes, and it kind of got me interested again in understanding how QR codes can be used to do a lot of the heavy lifting for us as e-commerce entrepreneurs. And so I just want to show you some creative ways that I've seen of QR codes being used. And so we've all got used to QR codes thanks to what's happened with COVID and social distancing and stuff like that. Everybody's seen this idea that we no longer have a menu now. We now have a QR code, which is great, by the way, for restaurants, because not only does that cut down on their costs to produce menus, it also means that every single time you go and download the menu, the restaurant, if they're smart, can make a note of who you are, where you're eating, and can tie you intrinsically to that meal that you've eaten. But that's pretty advanced even by restaurant standards. Anyway, so there's lots and lots of creative ways you can do that. Here's some wacky ways. People just putting QR codes on their bodies. Very peculiar that you would ever do that. But maybe that's if you've got like a different kind of blood. I don't know, like it replaces that. I've got no idea. But people put QR codes on their bodies. Let's not do that. Instead, here's some creative ways that us as e-commerce entrepreneurs can use them. So I really like this. This is on the actual product itself, how to go about reordering the product. I think that they didn't do a very good job of the call to action, reorder now. I suspect there's a better way that they could phrase that. But still, I think it's very clever that they've got it on there and that they have a simple way for their customers, once they finish the product, simply to take their phone and reorder immediately. I think that's very clever. And if it was tied in, like if I was doing that, I would tie it in so that their card was being held on file and all they needed to do was kind of press a button to reorder another 30-day supply, something like that, if they weren't on continuity, that is, of course. But it's a very clever way of doing things. And most websites now, like a Shopify website, has got functionality where you can hold the card on file and you can just have them basically press a button that says, yes, I want to reorder that same thing again. Makes it super easy for them. So I like that. I think that's very clever. Next up, I think this is a clever idea as well. This could have been free. So who doesn't want free, you know? Who doesn't want free? So here's a way to get your customers very elegantly to opt in to see if they, in this instance, if they win something, okay? And I think that's a very clever idea, a way of actually getting your customers to do that. Now more than ever on Amazon, Amazon is controlling the customers. They are not our customers. Amazon just sees them as their customers, and we don't get access to any of their information, their name, their address, their email, their mobile, anything. And so this is a very creative way and very cool way of doing that. And clearly they're doing it with Pret-a-Manger. I think that's in the UK. But the same thing would apply for a product being sold on Amazon. You could have got this for free. Here's how to get this for free next time, or go into a competition to win it, or get 20% off your next order, depending on the particular thing you're selling. That works really well. Anyway, I thought it was clever. I think this is a really good idea, but I think it's been executed very badly. So that is a candle. Great packaging, by the way. Candle and they've got that Raters QR code on the side of the packaging. I think that's a very, very poorly executed way of doing that. If I was doing that, like, where does a candle go? A candle goes into, I would imagine, into your house, into your bedroom, into your living room. And so it's going to be somewhere where the end user wants the product to not only smell nice, but also look nice as well. So if that would have been me, I would have played into that and said, hey, shoot a picture of our candle in your room, bedroom, front room, whatever it would have been, and then offered them something for that. So I got all that social proof that I could then use for my marketing. I would have probably handled it like that. And I reckon that would have been an interesting way of getting an inordinate amount of people social proof to show that they're using the candle, putting it in their rooms, upload it to the social media, for instance. That would have been a very creative way of using that could have got them a lot more of what they actually wanted. Because anybody who does that will then rate them very highly as well, because that's a psychological trigger for that as well. Anyway, this is the same kind of thing again, and it's the same as this, but again, I think it's very boring. Why follow this particular company? There's really, like, this, your customer doesn't give a rat's ass about your Instagram profile or about your Facebook fan page. Your customer couldn't give a rat's ass about that. So you have to give them something in exchange for what you're trying to get them to do. Okay, you have to do that, unless you're like Kylie Jenner, you know what I mean? In which case they're going to be there anyway. But this is a shampoo by the looks of it, or some kind of hair product. What could be an idea to get them to do what we've just said with the candle? What would be the equivalent kind of idea for this? So like a before and after, like before using the product, after using the product. That would be pretty spectacular, especially if the product worked and it actually looked good, as a way of getting massive amounts of social proof and of getting marketing collateral that you could use in all your advertising. Before and afters work incredibly well. Dave's just had an idea, which is this, which is very, very cool. So a lot of products are difficult to use, and people often don't want to read the instructions. And so having a video with the instructions is a really good idea. Here's a company doing that very, very well. And so I thought that was a very cool way of doing it. And of course, the video, you would not host that on YouTube. You'd host that on your own website, so that when they arrived at your website, you could put a Facebook pixel and a Google cookie onto their phone and start tracking them properly and start using that information properly. Okay, that's a very clever way of doing it. And then the last one I've got for you is this. I thought this was kind of neat. Most businesses have got some way, shape, or form that they can add additional value to their customers. There's other products or other services, or just to even start thinking about what they're buying the product for, ought to give you ideas about what else they would be interested in. And so I like this. So this is actually citrus flower oil, and they're using it for recipes and things like that. Very, very clever, good way of using that. So that's, I think, can be utilized by most people. So anyway, that's QR codes. I think they're really, really neat. I think there's a lot you can do with them. And the good thing about QR codes, as far as Amazon's concerned, you can put them on your packaging, or you can put them on a product insert, and then you can take them away from Amazon and you can get their information, and you can then use it to market to them directly. Shopify, your own Shopify site, your own Facebook store, whatever it might be. But you can then market directly to them. They become your customers instead of Amazon's customers. Huge difference. That was a video from my regular Monday night Q&A session with the direct-to-consumer entrepreneurs that I am proud to be a part of their journey. Now, if you would like to find out more and find out why 2,500 people are in our amazing community with millions of dollars of sales, then you can check out the link below. The link is in this description, and you can come and find out more about what we do. Now, don't forget subscribing, that little button just down there, to this YouTube channel, because we've got great content coming out all the time to help you build your own direct-to-consumer business. E-commerce entrepreneurs are welcome. See you next time.